6:30 on the way this morning as Governor Inslee has extended his newest pandemic restrictions through the end of the year. This morning, we take a closer look at the case data in Spokane County, along with asking, have there been any improvements since the new restrictions first went into place?
And after a round of rain overnight, temperatures are starting to dip. With those down near freezing, we gotta talk what that means for your morning commute.
And 'tis the season of giving, how you can be a part of one of the Inland Northwest's longest running traditions.
Up with KREM begins now.
Hey there, good morning. So glad to have you here with us on Up with KREM. This morning we are live at the skate ribbon at Riverfront Park.
Yeah, they opened up with new guidelines to keep everyone safe this holiday season, which means you have to wear masks and gloves, make a reservation for skating time, and Nicole Hernandez is there all morning long showing us all up with her skating skills. Nicole, how's it looking this morning?
It's honestly great. It's kind of nice because it's quiet. The park really hasn't fully opened yet, so it's a lot of fun just, getting to get out on the ice and kind of enjoy what everyone loves about Riverfront Park in the winter.
It has been a great pleasure of ours, Nicole, to watch you and to listen to that moment. You almost fell off camera too, but you've been holding your composure pretty well.
Thank you. I know. I learned how to skate from a bunch of 10-year-olds when I was a camp counselor, so it's working now.
Well, we sent the right person on this assignment this morning. Quite impressive, Nicole. All right, we'll check in with you a little bit later in the morning. She is enjoying that socially distanced ice skating rink all to herself this morning. And Jeremy Legoo joining us now on a Wednesday. It is hump day. Jeremy, what can people expect as they head out the door?
Tim, we made it to Wednesday. Yesterday, I thought it was Wednesday through the whole 5 o'clock hour. And then when I realized it was Tuesday, I was kind of bummed. But here we go. It's Wednesday. And wow, what can't Nicole do? She continues to impress us each and every morning. This morning, we're looking at those temperatures starting to take a dip after our cold front slid its way on through. As the rain fell, though, temperatures were up in the upper 30s and even 40 degrees at times. So after that slides through, that's when we're starting to see that drop in some of those temperatures. Keeping a close eye on what's going on with the clouds, because right now we are overcast, light mist coming down in a few areas. That should help keep our temperature right near freezing, but there's the front. It is quickly working its way on out. In fact, as we scoot through the day, we'll get a couple of peaks of sun. Oh, looks quite nice. And then tomorrow it's a mix of clouds and sun before our next round of showers moves in on Friday, and we head back into an active weather pattern. So for now, enjoy this. It's temperatures back in the upper 30s later on today. I don't know if we quite hit 40. I think 38, 39 is about it for us, but enjoy dry conditions and a little bit of sun later on this afternoon, Tim.
All right, Jeremy, thanks so much. To your top story now, Washington Governor Jay Inslee extended the state's current restrictions. He says this is because of a high number of COVID-19 cases and hospitalized patients. The restrictions were set to expire on December 14th. The state restriction includes indoor dining, gyms, and several other industries. If you want us to send you a link with more information, all you have to do is text the word restriction to 509-448-2000. Washington COVID-19 cases spiked in November, and the number of hospitalized patients continues to rise in December. For more information on cases around Spokane County, let's send things over to Joshua Robinson. Joshua.
Yeah, Tim, when Governor Inslee made that announcement of extending Washington's pandemic restrictions all the way to January 4th, part of his logic was that COVID-19 cases continue to spike across Washington even after his restrictions were announced. So today we've got a few questions we want to ask about how that applies to Spokane County. The first question, are we seeing case numbers continue to spike? And if so, how do those case numbers compare to how numbers were before Inslee's initial mandate? And our final question that we'll ask this morning is, who has been the most heavily impacted? All three of these questions we're going to tackle today. But basically, as health officials have said, it takes about 10 to 14 days before we start to see the real impact from any holiday. So here we are today looking at the post-Thanksgiving data with 34 straight days. We're going to show you right now 34 straight days of single-day case numbers that are over 100. Now, before that streak, we only passed the 100 mark 25 times, as we can bring that data up here on the screen. Basically 25 times all year in Spokane County. We saw that mark go over 100, but today that 34 mark, or 34 streak, well on its way. We also have a shocking new single-day record of 692 reported cases just yesterday. You can see that way over at the end here. Now, to add some context, from the very first reported COVID case in March through the end of October, Spokane County has reported 9,985 cases in 232 days. But since November 1st, we've seen 9,967 cases reported. That's almost the same amount in just 37 days. So now what we've done is we've added the 14-day average moving over the top of the data that we're looking at today. We can start to answer some of our questions that we had for you this morning. So are we spiking right now? Well, if we had done this story yesterday, I'd say no, because look at the way that the average line has been moving. It's kind of been plateauing here, leveling off a little bit. But with yesterday's cases, yeah, we can once again see we're spiking up. For our second question, how do case numbers compare now to what we saw before the mandate? Well, this plateau I pointed out to you, that is in direct response to Governor Inslee's new mandate last month. So the average immediately stopped rising and started to kind of level out here. Didn't necessarily improve, but definitely started to level out and did not go down. So it's still considered a success until yesterday. So who's being hit the hardest? Let's take a look at that data this morning. We can see, we know people in their 20s and 30s have been the two most heavily impacted age groups all year long. But since November 1st, we actually see the people in their 20s and 30s, they're dropping. These are the two lowest percentages they've seen all year. But almost every other age group saw a marked increase in their percentage. People in their 40s, people in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, all saw increases since November 1st. But young people, so we're talking teenagers and older kids and even younger kids, did see all of their numbers drop. Tim?
All right, Joshua, thanks so much for breaking that down. Well, Apple has one more thing for the holiday shopping season: over-the-ear wireless headphones that will test how much people are willing to splurge on high-quality sound. So the new Airpod Max headphones will cost $549. The company says they are noise canceling and have transparency mode to allow users to hear things like traffic. The headphones can also automatically pause music when they are taken off. They will launch next week, and Apple fans who have already made up their minds can pre-order them now. So this morning we are asking you how much you would spend on the headphones. And here are some of your responses. Someone saying $549? No, I would put that money towards my vehicle. Another person writing, I better be able to hear loved ones from the afterlife or at least from Mars. Complete craziness to me. So this morning we want to know what you think. Text us at 509-448-2000. So what do you guys think? Would you pay that much, and how much would you pay if you do like those headphones?
It's a hard no on the $549, I would say.
Listen, I love music. Love music. And I love high fidelity music where you get to hear all of those sounds. Mm-hmm. I shelled out a lot of money for my headphones. A lot. An absurd amount of money. But nowhere near that.
No.
Yeah, how much would you pay though? That's the question.
I'd pay $300.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair price.
I would say $200 or $300 if they're very, very nice. But even then, it's not the first purchase I want to make. I got other things on the priority list.
Seriously, maybe like a PS5 or something.
Yeah.
The only reason I bought mine was I was living in a hostel. It's a long story, and it was very loud, and I needed to sleep at night because I was working a morning show. And I needed some bit of serenity in my life. Okay. And so the money I was saving by living in a hostel, I spent on headphones.
What about you, Tim?
Yeah, I'd say probably around like 300 max.
Yeah.
I have a lot of headphones, and you know, they only last for so long, and then you lose one, and so I couldn't spend that much money on headphones.
Lose it.
Just not $550.
$550, and you're like, where did I put it?
Can you imagine? Oh, no, I don't want to imagine. Hey, coming up this morning, the Tree of Sharing is a yearly holiday tradition that brings Christmas gifts to those who otherwise might not receive a gift. This year is moving virtual, and after the break, we'll tell you more on how you can participate this year.
And we're keeping a close eye on weather early on this morning because temperatures dropping following a cold front that moved through could play a role in our morning commute.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS this morning, as states struggle to control the coronavirus, the FDA could push through an emergency authorization of Pfizer's COVID vaccine as early as this week. Hear President-elect Biden's ambitious plan to fight the pandemic. Plus, Walgreens will help administer the coronavirus vaccine once it's approved by the U.S. government. First on CBS this morning, a top Walgreens executive discusses the company's plan for distribution. And with many of us staying home for the holidays, we'll give you some fun movie and book suggestions to keep you busy. I could use a few of those. All that coming up when we see you at 7.